Today's training is sales via chat. And as we wait for the rest of us to stream in, can you share with me in the comments what came to your mind when you first saw me promoting this session? What does chat mean to you? How are you currently using chat for your business or your remote sales career? And what is your experience like with chat? My first experience with chat started in 2020. At the time, I had just left a sales team that I had built from scratch. And I created my own coaching program. Some of you have your own coaching programs. And it was a mindset coaching program. And it was a good offer. And I knew how to close, but the business wasn't moving forward. And I didn't know why. And that's the thing about blind spots. When it is someone else's blind spot, it is very easy for you to see. But when it is your own, sometimes it's really hard to see. And I couldn't see that despite having a good offer and I could produce content and I could close, some months I would have clients. And then other months it would be really difficult. And my question was why? And eventually it got to a point where I couldn't sustain that business anymore. And I fell back on the one skill that I was the most confident in, and that was remote closing. And instead of a closing offer, I actually got offered a appointment setting role. And I thought for a long time, first of all, what is appointment setting? And secondly, do I want to do it? And why would I want to do it? So when I got on a call with the business owner told me that, yes, she needs help with her sales calls. And eventually she's going to probably let me do a sales calls as well. But as of right now, the most important priority was conversations. And my question was why? What's the big deal about conversations? Are conversations just like messages, texting, and simple back and forth? Like, what's the big deal? And so she showed me, this business owner showed me her Facebook, and it was flooded with leads. And this influencer showed me her Instagram, and it was flooded with leads. And this influencer showed me her LinkedIn and her email, and it was flooded with leads. And she said she used to handle this herself about 2 hours a day, and to move conversations onto calls. And this was way back in 2020, before all of this completely caught fire. And in that moment, I realized how much money there was, because there were just hundreds and thousands of leads all over her organic social media, free and paid traffic. And I could see why eventually she had to step out and hire a setter. And so I thought long and hard about it. And I was like, I think this is a gift from heaven, because even with all the closing skills I had, I wasn't able to get my own leads. I wasn't able to fill my own pipeline. And there was always this problem of not enough leads, not enough leads, not enough leads, or you have enough leads, but the quality is not there. The quality is not there. The quality is not there. And so from this influencer, I learned that actually, as a closer, as a business owner, you do have control over the lead flow, and you do have control over the lead quality. And that is extremely important to understand, because too many business owners and too many closers sit around and say that the lead quality has a problem or the lead quantity has a problem. So then who is going to come up with the solution, right? Who is going to fix this? The answer is chat and the answer is conversation. Because as soon as I work in the inbox, and as a apartment seller, my base salary was 1,500, excluding commissions. And I would work one shift, 4 hours, multiple 4 hour shifts a day. Sometimes I even work Saturdays. And that's because I was really immersed in the skill and I wanted to learn the skill because I could see how the previous mindset coaching business didn't work out just because this was a complete blind spot for me. Okay. So that was the genesis of sales via chat. And here's what we're going to cover today. If you have purchased access to sales via chat, feel free to message me and get the Zoom link so you can hop onto my Zoom. And then we will have a full session. Essentially, it's split into two parts, one on the left and one on the right. We're going to go through everything today. Okay, just give me 2 hours and I will walk you through everything. I've just explained why did I create this program. Who this program is for and not for. Why chat itself is not sufficient. The 3 paths to profit via chat. How to turn outbound into inbound. And my whole philosophy on it altogether. And the 3 main pillars. This is the core essence. This is the juice of selling on chat. The 100K formula, mastering your numbers, as well as special surprise bonus at the very end. So if you are new to this session, hey, Mike and Andrea, feel free to hop onto my Zoom. I think you guys have the link, right? So up to this point in time, can you share with me in the comments, what does your inbox look like right now? Across Facebook, LinkedIn, even your emails, Instagram. What do all of your inboxes look like right now? And is it overwhelmed? Is it overwhelmed with the right prospects? Is it empty? Is it flowing with business opportunities? If it is empty, my question to you is why? If you need some business opportunities to be in there, why is it empty? If it is overflowing, is it a good overflowing where it's kind of like time to hire a seller? Or is it a bad overflowing where it's overflowing because you are either not cleaning up the weeds, tending to it? Is it because you're avoiding the inbox? Okay. So what if you were able to create a massive flow? I don't even want to say massive. I would just say quality flow in your inbox. And this can be the case of you being a business owner selling your own services. You're a business owner and you don't know what to sell yet. You are a remote closer. You are a seller. Or you are a seller and closer and you need good opportunities. So your inbox should never be empty. Let me just leave with that. If you agree with me, drop a yes in the chat. Yeah, Latif says quiet. After today, it won't be quiet. Okay. So in the 4C method that I teach in my close method, client, conversation, call, and close. right? This chat belongs to the conversations part. And when I was creating this, or when I thought of creating this, or when the idea came to me to create sales via chat, up to that point, I experienced a lot of different scenarios that gave me the idea. And Latif says, I'm ready to have my inbox buzzing, Sean. Yes. A very common scenario is I see that setters in team sometimes feel misunderstood, frustrated, unsupported. Because as a setter, what are we trying to do? We're trying to book calls, right? And we'll do the best we can, get people onto calls. And sometimes if we are in a certain team where the business owner is kind of, I don't want to say creating problems, but there's not enough meat for you as the setter to eat. You know what I'm saying? If you're a setter, you probably get what I'm saying. There's not enough meat for you to eat. And all you want to do every day is eat, right? You want to book calls. You want to have big, juicy calls that close, and then you get paid your base, and then you get paid your comms, right? And that's would probably be a good month, if not a big fat month for you, right? But sometimes when, like, I've worked for teams where the business owner is not present and they're not creating content, and they're like, Sean, why isn't the inbox moving? And I'm like, and let me know if you relate to this. And I'm like, look, I'm working really hard, right? Like 6 hour, 8 hour shifts a day, and I'm trying to move the conversations, but I need more support in terms of the content, right? You gotta go live, you gotta drop some good baits, right? Good hooks, good lead magnets, like help me move the machine. I'm helping you to move the machine. So when I noticed that, I realized that, first of all, it's not that the setter isn't hardworking, and it's not that the business owner doesn't want to succeed, but there are some gaps from both perspectives that are not being filled and not being properly clarified. And then there's also closers that they actually hopping around teams because they don't have enough leads. So when you come to an offer as a closer and you're like, today there's not enough leads, well, in that case, let me disqualify the business owner. Let me calculate their OTE and grill them on it. If not, I find another offer and I wait. So this should never be the case, because as a closer, if you can close, how can you not know how to close someone to meet you on a call? You know what I'm saying? So if you are a closer and you find yourself honestly sitting around waiting for calls, something is very, very wrong. Okay, you are not a complete closer. You are a one-dimensional closer because you are not in control of the pipeline. And it's not entirely the business owner's fault if you do know that through the power of chat, you can add at least 1, 2, 3 more calls per day into your pipeline. Like, it's supporting yourself as a closer. And then there were also a lot of business owners that were like, I'm doing my marketing right, I'm doing my sales right. Like, what's missing? Is my setter not performing? Like, are the conversations not moving? Like, what's happening? So I noticed a lot of blind spots, not just in each specific role, but from a top-down perspective of the entire business, especially myself, having worked through the role as a setter full-time, having worked through the role of a closer full-time, having my own business, I've worked through every part of this here, so I can understand everyone's perspective. And let me just lead this whole thing by saying that it's no one's fault, and the emphasis should be on understanding how the entire machine works, so that instead of looking at each other and say, hey, the closer isn't closing, or the seller isn't booking the right call, or the business owner isn't supporting us, how can we, because like in my business for a long time, I was the business owner, I was the content creator, I was the coach, I was the seller, I was the copywriter, I was my own editor, I was my own funnel builder, I was my own closer. So I couldn't possibly argue with myself, right? I can't possibly argue with myself, right? I have to actually have to support myself. And I feel that if every business can get to the point where you see yourself as one, in the same way that I really am a lot of times a one-man business, you will be able to turn these conflicts and chaos and misunderstandings into opportunities to say, how can I help you set better, right? How can I help you create better content? How can I help you have higher quality and quantity of calls booked into your calendar? Like, give me some feedback, right? And then I can give you some feedback as well. So when I saw this whole thing from a big picture, I was like, okay, I need to create something. And someone asked me, like, then is this going to be an appointment setter course? Right? Is it a closer selling on chat course? Not really. Not really. I hope that by the end of these 2 hours, you know that this is really a complete solution. And if you really think about it, even if you are a setter or closer, you are solopreneur, you are a one-man business. And it's really important for you to understand the whole thing. Okay, the whole thing. And this program aims to solve the following problems. And let me illustrate the problems itself. And the very first thing I want to talk about is the basics. Okay. Are you trained? I asked this question once, and this for this specific conversation, this person here couldn't understand. This person said, "What do you mean trained? Do you mean I have a CRM software?" I said, no, we're not talking about any software at all. Because this person is like, I want to be a appointment setter. So I'm saying, have you been trained? Right? Do you have the skills? And then this person say, oh, do you mean the ability to schedule appointments, book calls, uh, communicate text? I say, yes, exactly. Have you been trained? And the answer is no. I'm new to this. So if you're new to this and in your mind, you're like, I want to be an appointment setter, right? And you're not trained. Do you know what's your first priority? Put in the comments, even if you're watching this as a replay, whether you enrolled or you're watching the free preview. If you're not trained, what is the first priority in your mind? You should get trained. And there are so many programs available for you to get trained. Of course, I hope you pick the right one. Because do you understand what you're doing here as a seller? You are going to a business owner and say, let me log in to your social media account and text for you, as you. I'm pretending to be you, and I will help you handle all your leads. There's hundreds and thousands of them. Do you know for someone to give you their password, even to give you the password through a secure app, even to give you access to their inbox? Yes, Latif, it is to get yourself trained. You know how much trust, like when I give my inbox to someone, you know how much trust that takes. It's not just the trust on the security, it's the trust on, like, can you represent me well? Are you good in English? Can you type like me? Are you going to piss my prospects off? Are you going to misrepresent me? Are you going to make a bunch of promises that I can't deliver? Are you going to jam my conversations? Are you going to repel my leads? Like, for a business owner, there's a lot at stake. Of course, to you, it's probably, I want to set, I want to make extra income, I want to work remotely, right? That's to you. But for the business owner, no one is going to just come to you and say, hey, I heard you want to get out of your 9 to 5 and you want to be a appointment setter. Here's my password. Here's all my leads. Go. Okay, no one will say that. There's a lot of trust needed, and your response to the business owner cannot be, you know why you can trust me? Because I took a course. How does that sound? It's like saying, can I marry you because I took a course, right? And I have this certification. I have this certification. Can I set for you? Because I have no one cares about that. And you continually say, can I close for you? Can I set for you? Can I write for you? It does not work. That is not setting. That is pitching. Right. So the very you need three things: the mindset and the strategy and the skill. This is what I teach in the complete closer, right? The mindset, the strategy, and the skill. And the bare minimum is the skills. You need to know how to type. You know what I'm saying? You need to know the art. This is an art. There is a specific skill that you need to learn, and you touch your heart. Okay, you touch your heart and ask yourself, have you truly been trained? That you might have taken a course, you might have been certified, but do you actually know what you're doing? Right? If you want to drive, you have to be trained in driving skills. If you want to set, you have to be trained in setting skills. So if you haven't been trained, you need to be trained. Okay, what's an example of someone who has been trained but isn't trained? I receive messages like this every single day. Sometimes I'm quite afraid. Sometimes I don't check my inbox for a few days, and I'm afraid to open it sometimes, because once I open it, as a closer and setter coach myself, I get too many of these. You know, one glance, I know this person is going to say all these things. Can I set for you, brother? Somehow on the internet, I have a lot of brothers. Everyone is my brother. Brother, I want to set for you. Brother, I want to close for you. You say this one. Let's do this, brother. I am so fired up. You are fired up. Am I fired up? No, I'm not. Hey, Sean, how are you doing? Let's hop on a call. Hello, Sean. I would love to set for you. So how is this value in chat? It's like saying, I want to be your boyfriend. In exchange, you'll be my girlfriend. How is that an exchange? You know what I'm saying? And then another one that has so-called been trained, but not trained. Thanks, Sean. I'm based in the UK. So regarding the guaranteed placement, this person took a program that sells guaranteed placement. And I know people that have paid thousands just for guaranteed placement, or they bought in because they just believe this idea of a guaranteed placement. And they sometimes this promise is fulfilled. Okay, sometimes it is fulfilled. It's just that after the person get placed, things change immediately the second day. Either something happened, or the business owner just fired them, or the business owner just changed stuff. And so yes, you did get placed, but day two you're out. So we fulfilled it, but it's not my fault you got kicked, right? Or sometimes they didn't even fulfill this promise. And it's like, in the marketing, I tell you, yes, there's guaranteed placement, but after you come in, it's kind of, well, what I meant was we are giving you the tools. That's what I mean, right? So is this guaranteed placement, or is this conditional placement? What do you think? Okay, and if you are a setter, if you are a closer, why do you need to be guaranteed? Your primary skill is setting, right? So how can you not set the business owner? Your primary skill is closing, right? How can you not close the business owner? And if after completing a setting program, your main skill is to pitch like that, you did not complete a setting program. You completed a pitching program. If after taking a closing program and you're pitching like that, you did not complete a closing program, you completed a pitching program. And if you had to pay for guaranteed placement and you find that after that you still have to pitch, then this whole thing is just weird, you know? It's like, will a doctor require a guaranteed patient? You know, will a lawyer require a guaranteed client? You should be good enough to get it yourself, especially if the skill that you sign up for is the skill to get clients, right? And every day when people join my Facebook group, a lot of them will say, I have completed a program and I'm struggling to find a client. Then what? So my first question is, does the program teach you how to get clients? And they say yes. And then I say, what are they teaching you? Why can't you find clients? And then they told me to join your group. And I said, okay, so okay. So that's what you paid thousands of dollars to learn, you know, to join my group. So sales via chat is for you if you're a business owner and right now you are the appointment setter, or at least you recognize that, hey, if down the road I'm gonna grow this machine, in the next few months I'm probably gonna hire a setter, or I already have a setter. The one person that needs to get it right first, and I don't even need you to get it completely right. It's like you have to be decent at it and say that I have to be at least decent at it so that when I outsource it, I am able to lead and train, or at least manage, or at the very, very least have some idea of what's happening. Right? You recognize that. Or you have already been hiring sellers for a long time and it isn't working out. Okay. Or if you are an apartment seller and you have the theory, you have the certification, you have like 12 gigabytes of selling content in your hard disk, but you're not able to implement. Or you're closer and you're like, I'm not having enough calls, and my solution for it is to hop around, or to grill the influencer. No more hopping around. You should have the ability to book calls via chat. Or at the very least, right? If you are a setter or closer, you need to set your first business owner when you have no offer. You are the offer. You're selling yourself. You are already setting. You are setting yourself. You need to know how to build a list. You need to know how to prospect. You need to know how to be an appointment setter, and you are setting for yourself because you're selling yourself. You're going to get the business owner on an interview and you're going to close them to let you either set for them or close for them. Chat is how you do it well. And no, you are not going to join a bunch of groups and harass people like this. Okay, you're going to do it in a slightly different way. This is not exactly a how program. It's not, I'm going to teach you, oh, if they say this, then they say that. I know there are a lot of groups that already provide support on that, right? Like my client said, da 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 da. What should I say? And then I can see everybody reply, oh, if they say this, then you just say that. Okay, I am not a words person. I'm not going to coach you on the precise technique. Okay, I'm going to coach you on the philosophy, the principles, and the understanding with some demonstrations. I'm going to need you to absorb what you think is relevant for you and just put aside what you feel is not relevant right now. And I want you to ingest it, digest it, let it circle in your system 5, 10, 20 times. And I want you to tap into your own understanding and type out the words yourself and learn through trial and error and mistakes and pressure to say, okay, this is my style. And whoever that is teaching whatever out there, continue to learn. And same thing, pick the best, make it your own. Pick the best, make it your own. This is not a program on making fast cash and then you're not committed. You know what is commitment? When I work as a seller every day, it's just type, 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 practice, 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 practice. There has to be, same thing with copywriting, content creation. It is a daily commitment. If you are not prepared for that consistency, you won't have your skills. And in the end, it's not going to work. Okay. And this is not an escape from a 9 to 5. As soon as you step up from the 9 to 5, it's never an escape. You're actually taking on more. You actually have nothing to complain about anymore because now you are the boss. If you have been complaining about your boss and you step out, it's not an escape because now you're the boss. You're actually taking more ownership. You're taking on all the risk. Okay, so it is not a pleasant escape at all, right? If you can't handle life in the remote high ticket sales world, stay in the 9 to 5 and be a really, really be the best employee that you can because this place is not for the weak. Okay. Why chat alone doesn't cut it? Someone asked me, is this going to be an appointment setting course? Not really, because the skill of typing itself is insufficient. You know what I'm saying? The words itself is insufficient. It's kind of like in my 20s, I was a lot on all those like dating apps. And when I didn't believe in myself, when I didn't have the confidence in my own value, You could have given me the best script from the best dating coaches, and I would type it and it would not work because the words itself is insufficient. They're just words. You know, what backs the words up? What supports the word? What makes the words count? There are some business owners that they're like, I'm tired. I want to hire a setter. I can understand, right? But is it truly time to hire a setter? Is your business mature to the point where you are truly ready for a setter? And then your question is, what do you mean, Sean, by ready? What do you mean ready, not ready? Do you have a validated offer? Does your offer sell? Do you have client results? Have you set yourself? Have you book calls yourself as the business owner? Does your machine work? Do people want what you have? Have they bought it? Have you gotten at least 5, 10 people on calls? Have you closed them? Are they happy clients? Because if fundamentally nobody wants your offer, hiring a seller is not going to solve it. Your seller is going to be very frustrated because they message people. They have the best words. They have the best script. And I can see some sellers that I coach are working every day. They're working really hard. But people just don't reply. It's because your machine doesn't work and you're not ready to hire a seller. You have not validated all the parts of your machine. So you cannot out-chat fundamental problems. This is not easy to accept. It's not easy to admit, but someone has to say it because if the fundamentals are not dialed and you thinking, okay, you know what? We're going to cold call people every day, 1,000 dials. We're going to force outbound and I'm going to push all my sellers to get the numbers. Why you want to do that to your team? This will only damage yourself, damage your machine. And yes, if you make 1,000 dials, it's true. A percentage are going to convert. A percentage are going to buy. But if that's your preference, go ahead and be the best outbound specialist that you can. I would say personally for me, as someone who has lived through the whole thing, that's not, like, as a seller, that's not a team I want to work in. As a closer, that's not a team I want to work in. Even as a business owner, that's not how I want to build my machine. It's not sustainable. It's not built on what I call the inbound content formula. And it's not even my whole philosophy of selling, that I believe that if I sell, I should not have to chase and force and push, right? The best products, the best marketing, the best sales pipeline, a significant portion of it is usually inbound. And you've got to know how to structure your business so that the flow turns from outbound to inbound. We're still going to do a little bit of outbound, but it's not the way you think. And we're going to turn them all inbound so that what? Your seller is extremely happy. They have meat to eat. Your closer is extremely happy. They have meat to eat. And you, as the business owner, you have a very happy and congruent team because the flow is aligned with everyone. Even your clients are going to be happy swimming towards you. Okay. Now, sales via chat. When I was promoting this the whole time, what exactly are we going to sell via chat? And people are asking me, right? What exactly are we going to sell? 3 things. Okay. The first one is selling the value of the call. If you're taking notes, you have to write this down. You have to understand it. Selling the value of the call. It is not just to book calls, but to the prospect, to the buyer. Why I want to get on a call with you. If the context is just to chat, if the context is just to jam, if the context is just to make a friend, if the context is just to pick a brain, this call will be a very low quality call. So whether you are the seller or you're the business owner, you have to sell the value of the call and you have to make it clear that this is a business conversation. Right? We are going to talk about important things about if you coach mindset, we're going to talk about mindset. If you coach fitness, we are going to talk about fitness, right? The context has to be right. And in this context, the value is not for you. The value is for the prospect. Low ticket offers, you can directly sell on chat. send them the landing page, tell them this is the checkout page, okay, and just let them buy. And if you're a seller or closer, you need to learn to sell the value of the interview, which is you are reaching out to business owners. You just got certified, you just completed your seller closer program, but to the business owner, they don't know you at all. They don't understand you, they don't like you, they don't trust you, they don't even know who you are. It's a complete cold lead. You have to actually get them to reply you and convince them that they should talk to you on a call. Once you can do that, you know for sure you are a seller because you just went to a complete stranger and say, let's get on a call. And they being busy business owners, they don't send their assistant down, they don't send their VA down. They meet you one-on-one and they interview you. And a lot of these business owners that I prospect, some of them are not even hiring, right? And the recordings of the interviews I put on my YouTube channel. Feel free to check it out or let me know, I'll send it to you. The precise way that we're going to sell low ticket offers on chat. Okay, over the following week, I will be uploading a series of content, videos, training, scripts in your members area of sales via chat. So keep a lookout for that for low ticket offers, as well as for interviews. It's not theory. I'm not going to show you theory. The precise emails I sent when I was a seller and closer, prospecting cold business owners. I did not do what this guy did and say, brother, I would really love to set for you. And in exchange, you let me set for you. I didn't do that. Okay, the precise scripts that I use on Messenger, on emails, the things I sent them, the precise call I had, the interview that they granted me, and the way they stress test and grill and throw all kinds of things at me on the interview, I've recorded it. So I'm not teaching you theory. I'm not sitting back and saying, hey, just be creative. Hey, just think out of the box. And then you say, coach, I really love your theory. It's very inspiring. Thank you for motivating me. But can you demonstrate? No reply. Okay, no. Everything that I've done, I will send it to you. And why this is important? Because you can see all the steps. You have a concrete step that you can practice. And when you practice in that way, you build the confidence because now it's different from me telling you. Now it's actually you experiencing people reply you. You experiencing people want to get on calls with you. You experiencing people letting you set and close for them. Okay, it's not theory from me, but it is you experiencing. I'll show you a quick example of booking a call via chat. This was done by one of my students. So the one on the right is my student. The one on my left is the prospect. Hello, thank you for connecting. How are you? I'm good. What is this? Rapport. Question, what do you do? I'm an analyst. Okay. My student says, I'm a relationship coach. So you could be a fitness coach, you could be a mindset coach, doesn't matter. At this stage, right? We're just having natural conversation and don't copy how this person types. Okay, I want you to read this, okay, forget this, and then type it your way, as though how you would talk to anyone. A relationship coach, interesting. I'm in the finance industry. Okay, this is what I do. And you're going to be direct. You're going to say, yes, I help people with fitness. I help people with mindset. Okay. And then now we go into the discovery. What's happening on your end? I'm separated from my wife. She's ignoring me completely. Oh my God. Why do you think that's happening? Communication. I've done it. I've done some things before. How can you help me? Well, what do you want to achieve? I have this goal. I want to achieve this. Well, what's holding you back from doing that? Problem, problem, problem. So are you telling me that the main problem is communication, absolutely. How about this? We're going to take some time this week, next week. Let's get on a call and let's see how I can help you. I would definitely be open to that. Okay, and then I think this was another conversation. Okay, it's generally the same thing, and then drop your booking link. So this can be the setting for this relationship coach, or you can be the relationship coach setting for herself. And it's another one. Hey, thanks for connecting. I'm pretty wrecked. Divorce. OMG. It's horrible. I need to work on my marriage. I have all this pain. Pain, 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 pain. How about this? This time, this week, next week, let's get on the call and here's how I can help you. Okay. Yep. Drop the link and then book a call. My question to you is, why does this follow this way? Okay, later on, I will explain all the principles that are happening here. But before I do that, I want you to think a little bit on why does it flow this way? Does this happen by luck? And the other thing is when this relationship coach sold the value of the call, is the value for her or is the value for the prospect? That's another thing you can think about. And the fact that these prospects pour their pain out, while in some teams, when I check their conversations, the seller is telling me like, hey, the prospect don't reply. Then my question to you is why these prospects not only reply, but they actually pour the pain out. What do you think is happening in terms of this coach's organic content? What do you think is helping with the marination, which is the educating, the nurturing? Because this doesn't happen by luck. If they don't know what you help them solve, if they don't view you as an authority, as an expert, they will not reply. And it doesn't matter how well your technique, how strong your technique is, if the support in terms of the content is not there, your prospects have absolutely no reason to reply, or they don't even know who they're talking to, right? This one is for setters and closers who are like, I need an opportunity and I don't know how to get it. Okay? At this point, you are also selling via chat. Have I made this clear already? You're already selling yourself via chat. Look at this, 21st July 2018 at 2:42 a.m. Hey, Sean, what part of the world are you located in? Singapore. I see you're based in Canada. It's 2:44 a.m. where you are? Lol. Yes. Yourself? 12 noon on Friday. Rapport, opening, background. Again, why immediately after I say can I just use AH and say this is my six-figure script, and then someone else copy and they say is it going to work? Is the word itself going to work? Yes or no? It's not so much the words, right? There has to be a lot of support. The reason why he's interested, say I'm interested in learning about your service. So my question is, where does this interest come from? Where does the authority come from? Why is it so easy for me to sell on chat? Is it really because my chat game is very strong? I mean, you look at the things I type. Lol. Can you type Can you type lol? Do you need to spend thousands of dollars just to learn what to type? Or is it more the psychology? What do you think? Outright tell him, I'm not here to chit chat. I'm not here to be your friend. I am at that time I was going through my closer phase. So I said, sure, I'm a closer. And this is what I do. How can I help? What's your commission? And look at the numbers I threw at him. Right, I start with a high negotiation, 20% done for you, 25% recurring. Whatever you do, make sure your leads are properly qualified. I haven't learned setting at this point. And then I was kind of, trying to, I was still pretty green at this time. So my question to you is, in this situation, sales via chat, right? Who is selling who? Is this inbound or outbound? Okay, is the emphasis on my texting words or is the emphasis on the setup and the psychology and the content that he's probably seen before even coming inbound? What is the difference between, and I have tons of this, all over my YouTube. What's the difference between this scenario and this scenario? So is selling via chat powerful? You might say, but Sean, I'm not a setter, I'm not a closer. This one not so relevant to me. Is the psychology the same when someone is pre-sold on you and they understand you? Does it make your chat easier? If you are a mindset coach, a fitness coach, a relationship coach, and you already have leads coming to you who are disinvested, who are this familiar, who are already kind of he wasn't fully sold on me at this point, right? But he's pretty ideal, yes. And would you want all your leads to be this ideal, or would you want to have to send 50 and hundreds of this? Yeah, it makes the chat game way easier, Latif. Right? Or would you prefer to send 50, 100 messages like this every day and chase and use this emoji, use that emoji, and use this outbound technique, and if they say this, they say that. No, you just say lol, and you just say, okay, no, I'm just kidding. You don't do that. But you get the point. It's like you don't have to force. You don't have to force it, and you'll be happier. Your prospect is also happier because he's like, I'm probably talking to the right guy, right? You can see from his tone. So whatever you're selling, if sales via chat just brings you 10, if not just 5, if not just one, okay, just one inbound conversation like this where they come in and they say, dude, I see what you do and I am 40% interested, I'm 50% interested in what you have. I don't know what is it, but you attracted me. If you have just one of this inbound conversation coming to you a day, can I ask you, how would your life change? And I'm not saying that all of them will buy for you. That's not what I'm saying. But if you have one a day, that's 30 in a month. Okay, and that's hundreds for the rest of the months. In a year, I would say you'll have a pretty good life. You know where I'm going with this. Okay. This one was another inbound lead. And question number one, is this inbound or outbound? I'm the one in purple. The prospect is the lady on the left. Is this inbound or outbound? Second question, who is chasing who? Look at my script. Okay, I know at this stage, I was using a lot of smiley emojis. Okay. And when I sold the value of the call, is the value for me or is the value for her? Okay. Low ticket offers. I will do the 1500. I really want to get it right, Sean. I'm on the same closing team with one of your mentees who is killing it. I send the invoice. Hi, Sean. I'm ready. These are all low ticket offers, typically 2, 3K or less, and there's no objection handling. There's no tonality. There's no game. I'm like, this is what I teach. This is the price. Send. Okay, and my question is, why is there no resistance? Is it because of my chat game, or is it because of the setup of the content or the pre-conversation nurturing? Okay, all of this is what I call the inbound content formula. This is what makes my life so easy on chat. Okay, so anything that is 2-3K or less, it's possible to sell, provided you have a good offer that has legit value and you're gonna deliver and fulfill your promise. Okay, and you just be transparent. Say, this is my price, this is what I teach, this is what I get. You want to buy, don't want to buy, don't buy. Okay, they will buy. If you do it right, they will buy. Okay. Hey Sean, I hope all is well on your end. I just wanted to shoot you a message to say a massive thank you. Since our chat, I've made several changes in my business and overall approach. Just in the last few weeks, I've sold 3 high-ticket clients with more prospects in the pipeline. Anyway, just thought I should give you an update and appreciate it once again. Chris is actually a musician production coach. He teaches musicians on very, very musical, technical stuff that I can't understand. Okay, and he was struggling, and he told me that actually, I think, Sean, I might have to go work as a setter because I can't get my music coaching business to work. And I'm like, wait, what's happening? I look at his proficiency in his skill, very high. I look at his content, I look at his offer, fantastic. And I'm like, why don't you sell for yourself? Why don't you set for yourself? Why do you want to set for someone else? You have a phenomenal product. You say, oh, no confidence, no confidence. I say, you have a great setup, you just need to text well, right? So I taught him what I'm about to teach you and happy client, right? And from what I've explained so far, you can see why it works for him, right? Because he's not having to chase. It's all inbound content magic. This guy is a closer. He closed. I said, congratulations. How much have you collected in comms? I got noticed by another coach. My question to you is how? How do you think this happened? Is it because you go pitch the coach? He placed me in one of his connections and I've made about 4K USD doing this part-time. Hey, Sean, I've landed a great opportunity and this is what I'm going to do. Okay, this one is from my student who has receiving the commissions as an appointment setter. Pretty good, right? Okay, so what's the common thing between all these people, including myself and now you, is that we're really tired of chasing and we don't have that capacity at all. And we all turn outbound into inbound. And if you're someone who believes in outbound, okay, this is not for you. But if you're like, yeah, Sean, I'm pretty tired of that. I prefer the inbound. I mean, who doesn't like people chasing after you, right? So my first question to you is, you have to really get this right. Like, which comes first, quality or quantity? Because at the start of this training, I said your skill is the most important, right? Your skill brings quality or quantity. If your answer is quality, then my question to you now is, what is this so-called quality? And why inbound over outbound? Okay, and how do we turn outbound into inbound? And specifically, what is it that starts changing the direction? There's one thing I need to make perfectly clear is that for all these scenarios, it's not completely inbound. At some point in the very initial part, it was outbound. Okay. When I prospect potential businesses, a lot of times it's actually outbound first. I actually reach out first. How does that happen? Let's revisit my bear system from the close method that I taught a couple weeks back. A lot of them I actually connected first online. I made the connection first. Is that outbound or inbound? I reached out first, It's not completely inbound. Before they enter the green box, which is the chat, what's happening in between here was the switch. Because as soon as the connection was made, now my content starts appearing. Now my content starts reaching them. Now my content starts educating them. Now my content starts introducing who is Sean. And before they know it, they know Sean is a closer. They know Sean is a setter. They know Sean can help me with my sales. And that's when they come in here. You have to set this up for yourself intentionally, deliberately, consistently. This is the best system. Okay. And across your social media, there will be a lot of touch points. Any point where someone can essentially engage with you is a touch point. Any point where someone can have a conversation with you, it is a touch point. Okay, in your members area, I'm going to share all the different scripts. Okay, I want you to look at the script and I want you to forget it, because regardless of um, whatever your content is or wherever they come in, okay, like I said, this is a skill, and you need to know how to steer the content inbound. And as long as someone can engage with you on your content, as long as someone can have a conversation with you, and you know, every social media practically has that. Facebook, you can post, you can chat. Instagram, you can post, you can chat. LinkedIn, you can post, you can chat. Even in email, you can still reply back and forth. Even on TikTok, you can still have a conversation. So initially, yes, as the business owner, you have to be the one getting this right. And when you get this right, within 3 months or less, you won't be able to handle it, because these kind of things, right? The more messages you send out, the more it comes back. The more you send, the more it comes back. And very quickly, you won't be able to handle it anymore. You need to have your own setup. Okay, and that's when you outsource it. And now you'll be able to explain. Now you'll be able to teach. Now you're able to lead, because you've done it one round decently yourself first. Okay, so this is the end of the free preview. In the next hour, I'm going to go deep into the sauce and the juice of how do you actually turn all this traffic that you capture and attract outside. At this point, you do a flip, make it inbound, and now they are like these guys who are chasing after you, and you can just sit back and say ah and lol. Okay, or okay, it works for me because that's authentic to me. Okay, you're gonna have your own style, and you're gonna be able to completely be yourself, and it's still gonna work. Okay, because the sauce has already hit them. Your formula has already been established. Okay, so if you want access to the rest of sales via chat, and you are watching this live on my Facebook preview right now, or you are watching the replay somewhere, I don't know, on my YouTube or wherever you're seeing this, head over to seansena.com via chat and enroll in the program. It's going to be $100 as of this recording. It might go up, I don't know when. So if you're still seeing the page and you're still seeing the card, it means the offer is still available. So enroll, and then you will see a members area where the rest of sales via chat will be neatly organized into your members area with all the scripts, all the tools, all the bonuses, all the why, the how, the where. And over the following week, I'm not going to stop. Over the following week, I'm going to have a few conversations with some of you, and I'm going to find out what's missing in your system right now. I'm going to coach you through them, and then I'm going to add what I feel is missing, especially this section here. This will be like mini programs within the program itself, where I will record a bunch of more videos and walkthroughs and demonstrations for you to sell your low ticket offers, your interviews, and if you set for yourself Okay, I'm going to add all these bonuses into the members area. So head over to seansena.com/chat and you can get the full program. And if you have a question, a comment, or feedback, just reach out on social media and send me a message. For those of you on the live preview stream, this is the end of the session, and I will see you inside the program.